get the toxins. And so that's why it's so important to get organic grass-fed meat and organic, you know, everything, because organic means it hasn't been sprayed with these toxins. Now, the toxins are becoming ubiquitous. Currently in Fairfield, Iowa, where I go, I always listen to the public radio and the people talking about all the chemicals and the agriculture and the agronomy and all this stuff. And currently, what they're doing is in Roundup Ready corn, they're actually putting higher doses on it, and it kills even the Roundup Ready corn and makes it easier to harvest. This is what the companies are teaching them. So they're pouring even more chemical toxicities into the food.
And then the cows get it.
And then, well, and what was happening in Fairfield, they built these big old silos right next to town, and Heartland is the corporation that did it, and the whole city came in an uproar saying, we don't want these built so close to the city. Well, guess what happened? They built it close to the city anyway. And now when they harvest, all the grain goes up in these elevators, and this dust particulates come down, and they cover everything for 20 square miles. And it covers the whole town, and all the people in town get covered with it, and their cars, and their houses, everything's getting covered with it. And 6 months ago, they asked me, what do we do? And I'm like, geez, this is a major problem, because, you know, you have all these toxins just all over the place, and they were all getting Parkinson's-like disorders, all kinds of diabetes, all kinds of problems from the chemicals just coming down on them. And so I told them, well, it probably involves evolving so they don't affect you. And they're like, well, what does that mean? I'm like, I don't know, but I'll find out. So anyway, that's where the St. Germain came in and told me that we need to put in the 22 extra strands of DNA from the star children. And I've got DVDs. If you haven't got one, we'd be glad to make one for you. But it's a visualization of actually evolving our DNA so that we don't get affected, because it makes our DNA and produces a rope, so it's impenetrable, indestructible, and it's not affected by these chemicals or radiation that we're getting exposed to every day. So it'll help our bodies tolerate these things. And actually, I've found, since I've been doing the meditation, I feel better. I'm getting more vital force, I'm getting more energy, but I'm feeling the changes in every cell in my body that's making them healthier. And, you know, because this has been a major problem. Go ahead.
Do you give directions on that CD?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I don't know how to go about it.
Yes, the CD is very explicit. It tells you what to visualize. I'm having people visualize the orange flame in their sacral plexus. You also bring up the energy from the earth, the energy from source into your body to help create this within yourself, and you ask the star children to bring in the other 22 strands of DNA. Now, why do they have to bring it in? Because they've got it. You know, the original humans, perfected humans, had 24 strands of DNA, 12 double helixes, because each strand is put into a double helix, and then you braid them into a rope, and this rope is stronger. You know, one filament is weak. You can tear them apart, you can break them, but when you put them into the rope structure, it makes it stronger, and it makes it so that there's an energy around it that protects it from all the breakage, all the radiation, all the chemicals, which is way cool. And I think that it's very important. Now this just goes into, you know, your blood glucose monitoring, body weight, foot care, personal hygiene. The other thing that St. Germain told me is we got to get the toxins out of our body, because we can spiritually manifest better DNA, but we've got to get the toxins out of our body. So if you pass around one of each of these are two different things. The other thing that was interesting, what happened was 4 years ago, Systemics came out with this detoxification program, and it involves taking a lot of pills. Marilyn knows, she's done it. It involves taking a lot of pills. And when I was in Fairfield this last time, a lady said to me, Scott, you're smart. Can't you make a detox program that takes less pills?
Yes.
And so when I got home, I got thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, I'll make a homeopathic out of all the energy from the main set of the pills so that you get the energy to help rebuild and regenerate the organs of elimination. And I made that homeopathic, I think it was a week and a half ago, and it's working really well. I put Pau de Arco in so it holds the energy, and then make a traditional homeopathic, but I put all the energies of these products in there to regenerate the organs of elimination. And then I was told by Spirit, you need to have some way, because you're getting these toxins, you're actually recirculating. And Systemics put out these two products. G-Cell helps increase glutathione within the liver and helps get the toxins mobilized. And then at night you take Bind, which binds the toxins and pulls them out through your colon. So I put these, there's two different sets of detoxing. There's the traditional one that I lengthened out to 90 days because they started that out as a 60-day detox.
It's too hard at 60.
It was too fast for people, so I lengthened it out to 90 days. And now we've got a new product that's a homeopathic. It's this one right over here. And I made one specific for diabetics. It's a diabetic formula, and this is the one that opens up and repairs the organs of elimination. It's the first 30 days. And then, yesterday, I mean, this is pretty recent stuff. Yesterday, I made one for the second 30 days, and I've still got to make the one for the third 30 days. But these homeopathics are $40. Actually, that says $34.99. Wow, it's cheaper than I thought. Anyway, this one is for diabetics. Now, why is this for diabetics? Because I put energy in there for the pancreas and the insulin-producing cells in the pancreas to help revive them, to help make them stronger. So I called it a diabetic formula for opening up and repairing the organs of elimination. So this is actually the first one for diabetics. Now, if you're not diabetics, I've got another one. If you're overweight, I've got another one. Because I've got one that actually helps you lose weight and get rid of the toxins. And it's for the first.
Above.
Yes. Yes.
And if you don't know whether or not you're diabetic,
Yeah.
because you're saying in one of the first things you said is that a lot of people don't know they are diabetic.
Exactly. But if you're having a problem with your eyes, you've probably got diabetes. You have problems with your kidneys, you probably got diabetes, you know, and a lot of us do, and we have no idea. Yeah. Yeah, you got problems with the pancreas. Me, you probably got diabetes. So actually, I'm actually using the diabetic formula because it helps restore energy to the pancreas and the insulin-producing cells. So I've been taking this one, and I found it very beneficial. And between that and the meditation I'm doing from St. Germain to recreate our 24 strands of DNA, I'm feeling quite a bit better. And even my neuropathy is starting to go away, which is great. Of course, I've been eating a lot of fats too. I mean, I've been eating the bison with the fat. You know, we used to strain off the fat. I'm eating it with the fat, and I'm happy as could be because it's good fat. And it's helping insulate my brain and my other nerves that go down to my feet and hands.
See, I'm on meditation. I did it last night.
Oh, good.
Twice. But it says to do it 12 times 12. Now,
Yes.
Explain.
When St. Germain came to me in the hotel room in Reno, he told me that you have to do it 12 times 12 times. And he didn't really explain that, except that it was 144 times. What I found in doing it, after I did it the first 12 times, I felt a shift in my
Do it
body's
daily?
energy.
Once?
Yeah, well, I did it once a day for 12 days.
Okay.
And at the end of that 12 days, when I was doing the 12th meditation, I felt this shift in my body. It was quite interesting. And then when I finished the second 12, I felt another shift.
Just keep going.
And so I think what Saint Germain was saying is there's 12 levels, and you have to do it 12 times 12. And, you know, 12 is a quorum, 12 is a very important number in energetics, and the square of 12 is 144. And when you look at the DNA, there's 12 double helixes even in the perfected DNA. And my belief is that 12, each time you're doing it, you're actually recreating this in your body, and it's strengthening every time you do 12. And so by the time, he told me by the time you do 144 of them, if you do it correctly, you should have 12 strands physically manifested in your body. We create everything on a subtle plane first with our mental activity. We take our God force, the God energy, whatever it is, and spiritually everything is created on a plane. And there's 12 subtle planes of energy. So when those expand in our bodies to the point where it's created in all 12 of those subtle bodies, then it is created into the physical, or the physical body. See, I'm learning this stuff just like you are.
Awesome. I took the
fascinating.
picture of the plane.
Yes.
You gave us, set it on my altar, which is just directly across from my bed. I was in the middle of the night.
Yes.
And I lit a candle underneath it, and so that lit up the flame.
Yes.
And we focused on that. It's really beautiful.
Isn't that cool? I love these archangel cards.
Are those
They're-
the ones that you have now?
Yes.
Are those the ones from?
The lady I met in Mount Shasta, I bought the cards from the original lady, and then I made copies because the angels spoke to me and said, this needs to get out there. I encourage you to buy them from the lady who brought them for us so she can keep going also. But I was told very distinctly, get people a copy of the Zapkiel card, the Archangel Zapkiel, because that is the orange flame of creative energy, creation, cooperation, and ecstasy. So it's a very powerful creative area in our body. And we were kind of discussing some of these subtle energies this past week. And in the teachings of the Masters of the Far East, they talk about how we've abused our second chakra through lust, avarice, all of the negative energies that go with sex. And we've really affected our creative abilities through those energies which are basically low vibrating and destroy our creative chakra. And the Masters of the Far East, they actually say that sex is just for creation of new children, creation of different energies. And we've abused it so much that we've lost a lot of those abilities, and it may have even contributed to our losing our DNA. You know, so it's fascinating as you go through all these different things. So there's the 90-day detox, the capsules with liquids, and it involves taking a lot of pills, or there's the homeopathic detox. And I hope you each got a copy of each one of them, because some people do better with pills. I quite frankly do really well with homeopathics.
So, Scott, I haven't read this yet, but homeopathic, how many drops, how many
Okay,
times a day?
the homeopathic, what I tell people is take 10 drops morning, lunch, and dinner. And it's the same with every one of them. Now, the reason you don't take it at night is you want to pull the toxins out with using the bind. The bind is this stuff. You take the bind at night, And the G cell, which they made another one called GSX, but this is the newer one, the G cell. This helps the liver pull the toxins out through the glutathione, creation of more glutathione even, and this pulls it out of the bowels. It's become difficult for us to pull them out through the lymphatics. The lymphatic ducts are all full of plastics, but this detox actually helps pull the plastics out so your lymph will dump even better. Because we have lymph ducts in our colon that dumps lymph out into the colon. And I found through hard experience that they're full of plastics. And it's clogged them up, so we just recirculate our toxins instead of dumping them out through the colon. But the detox helps open up those lymphatic channels so that we can dump it out into the bowel, and the binds to them to keep you from reabsorbing them and takes them out of the body. So highly fascinating. So you're here evolving with me. We have a problem. I asked for the answers, and the angels brought us answers and brought us ways to detox our bodies and make us healthier so we can survive all the chemicals in the, the chemicals aren't going to go away. Roundup's half-life is 500 years. And they're just pouring more and more into our environment. So that's why I'm saying it's important for us to evolve, get the toxins out of our bodies as good as we can, and evolve our DNA so the chemicals, the radiation won't hurt us. Because part of the meditation is putting the restructured DNA and all 24 strands into the rope, and then putting the rope into all the cells and creating the proteins from the perfected DNA, which will be perfected proteins, perfected cell membranes. It'll make our bodies healthier, each cell in our body healthier, our organs in our body healthier, and we won't have to deal with the diabetes and crap we've been having to deal with.
All that
So
would be coming from the fifth dimension, wouldn't it?
all of it is, it's a third dimensional perfection. In other words, there are beings who can exist in this third dimension with perfected DNA and RNA. The people in the ancient times called them the gods because they were perfect humans, and they were strong. Radiation didn't bother them, chemicals didn't bother them. A guy, when I told the story of the DNA in Fairfield, he brought up an ancient text that talked about this perfected man that was living among all these people, and he was able to go down and get mine in this mine that had a lot of radiation, and he would bring the metals that they needed to construct their stuff with, and he would bring up out of this mine, and they would have to hold shields up to protect them. There was a actual depiction of all the people holding these leaded shields to protect them, and this guy, he would go down in the radiation. It wouldn't even affect him.
Wow.
Because he was a perfect human being, and the radiation wouldn't penetrate his cells because he had perfected DNA, And so it was interesting because it was a corollary that went along with what we were teaching, which was way cool. So just know that we do have ways of altering diabetes and getting rid of it. And part of it is detoxing, part of it is perfecting your DNA. And so that's what I'm advocating now for treatment of diabetes.
So is this first page, is this what we need to do for the first 30 days? Is that what you're telling us?
Yes. Now, the one that's got a lot of writing on it, that's the homeopathic one.
That's the one I did.
And no, you did this one.
Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, you did this one. And what this one, the homeopathic one, will do is the same thing that first one did, but it's a little easier because you don't have to consume so many pills.
Okay.
But I just barely started producing it, and I'm advocating.
Here's my
Here you go. No.
Is this for diabetics?
This is for diabetics.
I have a son, and I want him on it, but I need to talk to you afterwards. But
Yes.
I want
Yes, yes. That is a good product.
So, I know you're a medical intuitive, and you can look at Marilyn and see what she needs.
Yes.
But if you have someone who